Gauge 3.5-inch mag. I have buckshot for the 10 gauge commercial, and this is the 1 3/4 ounce rifled slug for the 10 gauge. And as far as I know, that ammunition is no longer available. But if you're going to be a good survivalist, you're going to have to start to reload. Popular ammunition such as 12 gauge is going to be gone in a couple of weeks. Ammunition like the 223, the 5.56, is going to be gone in a week. Things like 308, 3006, that's all going to be gone within a couple of weeks. I've had quote unquote military personnel who got out of the military and then they want to go to the range shooting, and it takes them 15 rounds to put a bullet in a 8-inch pie plate at 100 yards offhand. I never saw anything like it in my life. It's no wonder we manufactured 17 billion rounds of ammunition for the Second World War, and the average amount of ammunition expended by a military personnel was 42,000 rounds of ammo to create one enemy casualty. And this all goes back to the First World War, where the American Army just was dumbfounded that the British could hang into a firefight for 300, 400, 500 rounds and still hit a man in the head, and the Americans, after 30 or 40 rounds, couldn't hit a damn thing with those Springfields. They went into an outrage that they discovered the amount of money they were spending for ammunition to teach a man to shoot exceeded what the ammunition was being expended on the battlefield. So they were actually spending so much money to teach a man to shoot that they finally decided, we're not going to teach him to shoot anymore. We're going to give him a semi-automatic gun. We're going to let him shoot it a couple of hundred times, put a couple of hundred rounds through it, let them get familiar with it, then put them on the battlefield with all the ammunition that they can carry, and just let them go ahead and do what they do, overwhelm the battlefield with indiscriminate firepower. And we've gone from the M1 up to the M16, which, is all, it's all a joke. The average British soldier is paid by how accurate he shoots his rifle. He gets a bonus if he shoots a certain amount of a certain score every month. And they go to the range about once a month, at least. Okay, now, handguns. Oh, and I should put this way. I always am doing the worst case scenario. So, power's out for 10 years. We have a pandemic that kills 100 million people. Smallpox, bubonic plague, which is all out there and all doable. Anthrax, flu, polio, tuberculosis. It's all coming back with a vengeance. Don't ever let anybody tell you that the medical profession has gotten rid of yeah, smallpox. They didn't. Don't let them tell you that the bubonic plague doesn't exist. The city of New York has been biting their fingernails since 1885, trying to figure out when and how a bubonic plague is going to hit the city, because the rats in the sewer are just loaded with bubonic plague. The only other place in the United States that comes anywhere near close to that is New Mexico, and at least 75 to 100 to 200 cases of bubonic bubonic plague shows up in the emergency rooms in New Mexico. All right, so this I could go on for hours and hours and hours and show you all kinds of shotguns, but single shot 20 gauge with a full choke. Ithaca Model 37s with a full choke. A Remington Model 17 with a full choke. Those are the guns that you more than likely want to have. The 10 gauge is an option if you want to get a 10 gauge on top of the 20 gauge. There you go. I would go for the 2 7/8 rather than the 3.5 inch mag. And if I was going to use this for home defense, the 3.5 inch mag, I'd shoot the 2 7/8 inch cartridge, because it does not blow a hole in the pattern as it comes out the barrel. Never use insert chokes. Insert chokes are stupid. Insert chokes are not usable, are not in any way, shape, or form effective. Okay, let's do handguns. All right. Now, there's all kinds of handguns out there, but I want to explain to you all that a handgun is a last-ditch effort to stay alive. This is a Model 10, Smith & Wesson. I'm not a big fan of Smith & Wesson, but the Model 10 Smith & Wesson, military and police is what the M&P stands for, is the probably the best revolver they ever built. This one here is in 2 and this one here is in 38 S&W, which is also the same, almost the same dimensions as the British 380 cartridge, and it's the short It's the short 38 case, not the long 38 case. And this ammunition is what they call indoor practice ammo. This is something that I bought a couple of years ago, and this is a Hungarian 9mm knockoff of the Browning High Power. It is a 16-shot 9mm, and it is a double action semi-automatic, which means that, okay, let's say you just cranked the round out of the chamber or out of the magazine and put it in the chamber. This is called a decock, and pretty much all European modern guns have a decock. It drops the hammer without firing the gun. Now, take the decock off, and instead of cranking around in the chamber, which is a stupid thing to do anyways, you should always carry the gun loaded with a round in the chamber. So So you don't have to do that. You don't have to crank around into the chamber. Okay, let me go get my case. I'll be right back.